World of Wheels, Rosemont, Illinois. After 2 years of a hiatus because of everything that's been going on, we're back to normal, or would you say it's a new normal? This is Larry Way, the head PR guy, and we've been friends for
a long time.
Too long, I think. But man, I want to get into some of the cars here and this and that. This is an old Chevy panel truck.
It's a 1965 Chevy panel truck. Now, it's not a stock color. The body is stock. There's no modifications to the body, but it's got a later model Chevy engine. So it's probably got disc brakes. It probably has an updated suspension, so it'll steer and stop better than it did in 1965. And it can be driven down the highway, and it can stop at 70 miles an hour.
The reason I picked this to do a piece with you was because
you remember being in the back of one of these with the ladies. I know that.
This is the old school, what we grew up with, correct?
We sure did.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun. But the wonderful thing about World of Wheels is, folks, when you come here, you see stuff from the early 1900s. All the way through today. They even got the tuner thing upstairs. We were up there for a little while today. This is really, really something. Every year you guys hit it out of the park, but I think because of the hiatus now for 2 years, people they're coming out of the woodwork.
Richie, this place was jammed today.
Yeah.
Jammed. The aisles were jammed with people.
But the quality of the cars and everything else, because they didn't have a show to go to and that, they spent more time, more money.
What's happened, people have raised the bar, so they're spending more money and more time on restorations and on modifying cars. So once you raise the bar, then if I want to be competitive, I have to raise my bar. So the cars and trucks are just getting better and better.
Tim Malway, my cameraman, asked me, we did the like a 60-something C10 pickup truck, short bed pickup truck. It's great. And when I got done doing the piece, he goes, what do you think the guys got in that vehicle? So he's doing cutaway shots for me. And I went over and I found the owner behind, and I said, how much do you got in it? He says, in excess of $650,000. And you can see every penny in the vehicle. It's not a car, it's a piece of artwork.
It's a piece of automotive art.
Yeah. So, Larry, thank you for letting us come in here.
We love having you. You do a great job and have for a very long time. You're a true historian.
Yeah, I've been doing this for 50 years, World of Wheels.
We appreciate it.
And you should be doing it too. So come on out. If you're not here now, come out to the next show. But you guys travel the country too.
We're in Kansas City, Missouri next weekend.
Okay. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Richie.
1968 C10 short bed pickup truck. But this does not look anything like what it was made to be. This is completely custom. I would love to know what they spent on this vehicle, you know, even in the bed compartment and in the tailgate and all of that. This whole front, everything was done to really make it look pristine. Even under the hood, they've got carbon fiber for the wheel wells, powertrain that's unbelievable. A real gorgeous custom vehicle. And I guarantee you this is one that'll actually, when you start it up, it'll have to raise up because you can't drive it the way it is. It's way too low. Gorgeous 1968 C10 pickup truck, short bed pickup truck. Just to give you a rough idea, I just talked to the owner of this 68 C10. He has over $600,000 invested in this C10 pickup truck. World of Wheels this year is just amazing. I've been coming to World of Wheels for at least 50 years, and I've worked very close with these people in some of the shows we've done in the past, but the quality and the workmanship of the vehicles today is just something that I have never experienced on that high of a volume of quality beyond compare. People had 2 years though to put money into their cars, instead of going out, which nobody could go out, couldn't even go out to dinner, to a movie or anything. A lot of these car guys were spending money on their automobiles. The cars you'll see in today's show, a lot of them, I think I counted somewhere in the vicinity of about 30 that had in excess of $300,000 to $500,000 invested in the automobiles. I hope you enjoyed today's show, World of Wheels, from Chicago, Illinois, Rosemont Convention Center to Donald E. Stevens Convention Center. I'm Richie Z.
Loco Coating. Now they do powder coating and they do ceramic coating for exhaust systems, usually like the Laker pipes and stuff like that. Now I know a lot about this powder coat. It's something that's really unique and really cool for the auto industry, because once they put it on, they heat the piece to about 400 degrees, which actually the paint that they put on, the coating they put on, is actually embedded into the surface of whatever you're powder coating. So this is a great company. They're on the south side of Chicago. It's called Loco Coating, 708-424-7863. I'm having some of my stuff on my motorcycle done by them, and if you need something done, you should come and see them too. 1940 Chevy two-door sedan. I mean, nothing on it looks like a 1940 Chevy. The top was chopped. The fenders were fringed into the front end. There's no headlights on it. And on and on and on with the powertrain and everything else. What a gorgeous 1940 Chevy two-door sedan. I talked to you a little bit about the Fords back in the 30s. Well, this group of cars here is a 1932. They called them Deuce, but they had the V8 engines in them. Ford was really big on that, and these cars really turned out to be something. We have a group of people here with a number, let me see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars from the 30s of the Ford. Very popular. Let me tell you another little story. John Dillinger actually wrote a letter to Henry Ford, and he said he only stole Ford automobiles because they were the fastest thing on the road, and he could always get away from the police with a Ford automobile back then. 1963 Buick Riviera. This was a time in history when I was a kid. I was 9 years old when this car came out, and I fell in love with it. I think everybody did. But what I love about this one, this particular car here, it's basically original. They didn't really do a lot of modifications, but I do love looking underneath the hood where they put today's alternator, air conditioning compressor, and one fan belt, the serpentine belt that runs this whole powertrain. Back in the day, I remember working on these when I was a kid, and man, you had 3 or 4 belts on them, and it was always a pain. If you lost one belt, it got tangled up with the rest of them. So I love what they did with this gorgeous 1963 Buick Riviera. I'm Richie Z for Automotive Heaven. Well, Chicago history and Automotive Heaven. After 2 years of not being around, we all know about the pandemic and everything else. World of Wheels was not anywhere for 2 years like everybody else and everything else. We're back, and we're back with cars that you are not going to believe. We're doing a show at the Rosemont Convention Center, World of Wheels, Autorama. I'm going to tell you the whole story about the beginning of Autorama, and in Chicago we call it World of Wheels. Started 59 years ago. In fact, I remember coming to this back in 1970 was my first time, so it was like 50 years ago. I started going to McCormick Place, the East Building. In fact, that was right after the fire, and the building was rebuilt. I believe it opened up within months of World of Wheels coming to Chicago. So join us for a great show at World of Wheels in Rosemont, Illinois. I'm here with Evan, and Evan, I've been following you for, I think about 10, 15 years. How long you been doing this?
17 years here.
17 years you've been coming to World of Wheels.
Yes.
Now you got products that'll help your car last longer than the payment book, right?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about, I got a car with over 100,000 miles on it. What can I do to keep that car going?
Well, first, I hope that you've been taking good care of it with your oil changes
Yes.
already and other maintenance. Our product here, since 1972, once a year, 25,000 mile oil changes, and I see this.
Yeah.
I see
Okay,
this.
go ahead.
They've been doing it for 40 years. 72. This is 2022. 40 years, same oil change.
Really?
Never back down from that same oil
And
change.
it doesn't get, I've taken apart engines that had not had oil changes regularly, and it's like mud inside there.
Yes, no, that's so with being 100% with our base oils and higher additives and detergents, it helps keep that from happening.
Okay.
So longer engine life and cleaner engine over a longer period of time.
You know what? Let me just get to the point right here, right now. Where can people get a hold of you? Because I know you know a lot about keeping your car going, maybe making it last longer than the payment book. Give them your information, your website, your phone number.
Yeah, my name is Evan. I'm from Evanston, Illinois, and you can reach me. My phone is the best. Text or call 847-942-2858. If I could say that one more time, it's
Sure.
847-942-2858.
Hey, I'm glad to see you're back during this pandemic and everything. We're out. We're going to have some fun here, right?
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mercedes-Benz. This is an AMG. They've been customizing these Mercedes-Benz forever. It's a killer car. The one cool thing about World of Wheels and what we're going to see in today's program is you're going to see vehicles from today. We're going to probably go up and do the tuner car show also, but you're going to see cars from the early days to now. So join us for this wonderful show at World of Wheels. 1930 Ford. Now it's a truck, but 1930 Fords are and always have been one of the most popular vehicles to customize. Guys just loved the body style. It was one of the greatest things Ford ever did, and it turned out to be just an icon in the industry. This is another gorgeous one here at the World of Wheels. Tour Chicago with Richie Z. Personal and private tours, 2 people, 4 people, or 6 people. A tour of Chicago you'll never forget. So tune in at RichieZ.com. I am amazed at what is here this year at World of Wheels. Larry and I just did a radio segment on WCPT 820 AM, and we talked about some of the cars here. Well, usually World of Wheels will have, I would say, a handful of $1 million cars. Larry informed me today there's like probably more than 30 cars here that exceed $1 million invested. This is a 1965 Chevrolet pickup truck. It's gorgeous, but look at the workmanship that they did. You come to one of these shows, I really want you to really take a look at some of these cars, the workmanship that it took to build what they have. 1971 Cuda. It's a Hemi. It's a factory-built automobile, but they've customized it a little bit more. This 1970, they had a Cuda that went through, I think it was Barrett-Jackson auction, and it brought over $1 million. 1966 Chevrolet Impala Super Sport. Everybody was building cars back in the day. Muscle car era was out. Impala was a very popular model. Now this Super Sport came from the factory with a 396 engine in it, and they were super automobiles at the time. 1929 Buick 4-door touring coupe. I mean, this car, the restoration on this car is just impeccable. This is taking us back to a time when they had wooden spoke wheels. The interiors were velour, but this guy he kept it, I would say, extremely original, but he did upgrade a few pieces. What a gorgeous automobile. 1964 Pontiac GTO. You know, the story's really never been told about John DeLorean, but this was his baby. This is where it all started. I believe with what he did with muscle cars back in 61, 62, he was putting 389 engines in these little bitty cars. The Pontiac Tempest was what it was. That's what this was supposed to be, but they turned it into a GTO, high performance engine, and it really gave a shot of adrenaline to the muscle car industry back in the 60s. Every time you turn the corner here at World of Wheels, you see an amazing piece of workmanship. These were not car builders or body men or painters. These were artists that built these cars that brought them back to life. This is a 59 Ford Fairlane 500 Skyliner. This was a very interesting automobile. They made the top, they called it a retractable. It actually came up and fit into the trunk area. This lip came out where you get the boot for the going over the seats and that, so you could sit up there. Just an amazing car that was built in 1959. This car belongs to a guy I know. His name is Mark. He's the owner of Gary's Wheel Alignment in Franklin Park, 9200 Grand Avenue. But I want to tell you a little story about Gary's Wheel Alignment. It was started in the 50s, and Gary became one of my best friends. In fact, he was best man at my wedding, and he actually moved to Arizona back in the 80s, and then people took over and this and that, but I still stay in contact with Gary Haller from Gary's Wheel Alignment. I'm going out to see him in a few weeks, hopefully within the next 30 days. He lives in Arizona. He's 84 years old. He just turned 84 about a week ago, and we've been friends for over 50 years. And it all started in Franklin Park, Illinois, back when I was a kid. And this is a gorgeous car from, they're doing a lot of custom work, but they do Volkswagens and stuff like that at Gary's Wheel Alignment. 67 Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham. Now this is the kind of stuff that I really like. It's a lowrider, but it's done very tastefully. It's got a metallic paint job. The custom work that was done on this is, to me, is just enough. It just gives the car just enough class and elegance. He put the old-fashioned, back in the day, we used to put Vogue tires and spokes or Krager mags were sharp. But for a car like this, the spokes were the way to go. The whole roof is custom painted, which looks sharp. Just enough touches to make this lowrider gorgeous.
Go ahead.
When you see these lowriders go up and down, this is part of the thing that makes them go up and down. They'll have tanks underneath this cover and that, but this is the mechanical end of making these cars go up and down. Who'd ever in their wildest dreams would ever believe, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when I was a kid, that they would take a pickup truck and spend the kind of money they're spending and doing the kind of work they're doing. This is a lowrider 1966 GMC long bed pickup truck, and I guarantee you this guy's got at least $500,000 in the car. We got this Jeep here, and the Jeep stories are phenomenal. Jeep started
back in the day. World War II made these things famous because they took like 10,000 Jeeps over to World War II. And one of the reasons we won the war was because of Jeep vehicles. We were able to get everywhere and anywhere with them. Now I'm here with the chief donut maker for Dodge Corporation, who bought Jeep back in the day with Lee Iacocca. And just give us a little rundown on the engine, and this is really something. So give us a little rundown on it.
So guys, here at JFB, we put Hemis and Gladiators amongst other Jeeps. So what you're looking at here is a 6.4. That's kind of where it starts. Goes from the Hellcat to the Demon to the Elephant, which is at 1,000 horsepower. Pretty
And you
much
can get that from the factory.
not from the factory, but from JFB.
Okay.
So we're through the factory. All our motors come straight from Dodge, so without Dodge, this is not possible.
Okay. All right. So it's cool. Give us a little rundown where you're at and how people can get a hold of you with what you're doing.
So if you guys just look up JFB Off-Road online, you can look on the website, find everything on there. We're over here in Illinois, so we're local boys. I'm from the Indiana line, Shelby.
Cool. Hey, thank you for doing a little piece with us on this Jeep. It's really a cool car.
Yes, sir.
I'm Richie Z, and man, I'm telling you, I've worked my tail off today. Man, my job is hard. And look at the kind of people I have to deal with. You imagine this? We're at World of Wheels in Chicago, Illinois, and I'm having a ball. How about you?
I'm having a good time.
You know, Oldsmobile, this is a 1950, but I got a story for you. 1948 was the first year, I believe, for the Rocket 88 engine. And I believe, I wrote the story, we told it on radio years ago, this was the beginning of muscle car industry. They took a car like this, which was getting probably around 90 horsepower at the time, and turned it into about, I think it was like 148 horsepower in 1948. So Oldsmobile with the Rocket 88 was really something. And then I gotta tell you another little piece about Oldsmobile. You know, they say Henry Ford, the assembly line and all of that. Yeah, he had an assembly line, but Rancid Olds was the first one to have an assembly line building automobiles. But Henry Ford was the one that perfected it and made it make money and work. Nice piece of history about the Oldsmobile car here at World of Wheels in Rosemont, Illinois. Automotive Heaven. I'm Richie Z, and welcome to World of Wheels in Chicago, Illinois. I'm here with Larry Way, one of the top guys in the organizations, but you're the PR guy. We've been working together for, I believe, over 30 years.
Let's not talk about that. It's a long time. We both
It's a
have
long
dark
time.
hair.
You know, let's get into, I want to get into this with you, the pony cars. This was the beginning of pony cars, and it was GM that started that, wasn't it?
GM, well, both GM and Ford. Ford
Right.
started a year before.
Oh, you-
but
okay.
They were the ones.
But we have the,
This is a 1967 Camaro.
okay,
This was the last. This is called a no draft. 1968, they got rid of that. This is the last year of no drafts for cars. So if you see 67,
the vent windows.
This is the vent window.
Yeah.
So if you see a Camaro, 67s and 68s are very similar. If these aren't there, then that's there. It's a 67. If not, and then they had side markers in 68. That's the other hint.
But this was a RS, a Rally Sport Super Sport Camaro. So this is very rare. This is
Rally
worth
Sport Super Sport convertible is a rare car.
rare cars. So, and that's what we get at World of Wheels. We get some of the, I say sometimes weird cars, but we get cars from the early 1900s through today, right?
We got what we call modern muscle, like new cars. I mean, new cars. You go to the dealership and buy a 600 horsepower car and drive it. We have cars, hot rods from the 1900s. We have muscle cars from the 60s. We have trucks, motorcycles. We have a little bit of everything. It's wonderful.
We did a thing with upstairs today with the tuner cars. There's a guy with a brand new Corvette. He did a light kit on it and everything else. It's got over $100,000 in it.
Easy.
You know, and then he had a Lamborghini there. He had it wrapped, and he's got the light bars. He had over $350,000 in the car. So, I mean, and this is the quality of cars that we get here
And
at.
that's just 2 cars. I mean, this set today with Tuner Galleria, there's 1,000 vehicles here today.
Total with down here.
On the 2 floors, there's 1,000 vehicles here. It's a huge thing.
We couldn't even do audio upstairs because the kids were having so much
I
fun.
can't wait to go up.
It's just it's really, really just a real gas. Larry, thanks for having us out
Say,
again.
You do a fantastic job. You're a great historian here in Chicago. We appreciate everything you do. Not just what you do for the O'Reilly Auto Parts World, but what you do for the car community here in Chicago.
It's a labor of love, folks.
Sure it is.
And if
you do
I
it
didn't love it,
fantastic, and have for a long time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
thank you.
Tour Chicago with Richie Z. Personal and private tours, 2 people, 4 people, or 6 people. A tour of Chicago you'll never forget. Chicago is our inspiration. The Mag Mile, Museum Campus, Historic Chicago, Theater District, Millennium Park, Water Tower, Art Institute, and so much more. Call Richie Z at 312-841-2560. Our website is at www.richieze.com. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Richie Z. GoFundMe page. Very important that we get funding for projects like this. We also do historic presentations of Chicago on Zoom. So tune in at richiez.com